Chapter 11. Om. The wound in Siddhartha's heart smarted for a very long time, refusing to heal. He ferried many travelers across the river, merchants, soldiers, and women who were accompanied by their children, and he could not look at any of them without feeling a sharp sting of envy. He found himself reasoning in a childish and illogical manner, thinking, so many people, even the common and the wicked, possess this immense happiness of having a child who loves them. Why not I? Why am I the only one denied this bond? In his suffering, Siddhartha had truly become one of the child people. He no longer looked down upon others with the intellectual pride of a sage or a Brahmin. Instead, he regarded them with warmth, curiosity, and a profound sense of sympathy. He began to share not just their physical space, but their very urges and desires. Although he had attained a high degree of self-discipline, he now felt as if these ordinary people were his brothers. Their vanities, their trivialities, and their seemingly absurd worries no longer seemed foolish to him. They had become understandable, lovable, and even worthy of respect. He saw the blind, fierce love of a mother for her infant, the stubborn and foolish pride of a father in his son, and the eager strivings of a young woman for beauty and attention. These desires, though simple, were tremendously strong and vital. Siddhartha saw that because of these passions, people lived, built, fought wars, and endured immense suffering. He began to love them for their blind tenacity and their indomitable strength. He realized that they lacked only one tiny thing, that the sage possessed the consciousness of the unity of all life. Yet, he even questioned if this knowledge was truly superior, or if it was merely the self-flattery of thinkers who were themselves nothing more than thinking children. Slowly, within Siddhartha, the true meaning of wisdom began to ripen. It was not a collection of facts, but a secret art of the soul, the capacity to feel and breathe thoughts of unity at every single moment of life. This harmony was reflected in Vasudeva's radiant, childlike face. However, the flame of his personal pain was not yet extinguished. One day, the longing for his son became a terrible, gnawing ache. Driven by an irresistible impulse, he rowed across the river with the intention of going to the town to find the boy. But as he looked into the water, the river laughed. It laughed clearly and merrily at the old ferryman. Siddhartha stood still and leaned over the water. In the quiet reflection, he saw his own face, and it reminded him of someone he had once known and loved and even feared. It was the face of his father, the Brahmin. He remembered how, as a youth, he had forced his father to let him join the ascetics and had never returned. Had his father not suffered the exact same agony that Siddhartha was now feeling? Was this repetition not a cosmic comedy, a fateful circle where every deed returned to its source? The river's laughter taught him that anything not suffered to its conclusion recurs. Siddhartha returned to the hut, feeling a desperate, holy urge to confess everything to Vasudeva. He sat beside the old man and disclosed what he had never mentioned before: his smarting wound, his envy of other fathers, and his hopeless struggle against his own heart. He laid bare his most painful secrets, including his failed attempt to flee to the town that very day. As he spoke, Siddhartha felt that Vasudeva was more than just a man listening. He was a motionless listener who absorbed the confession as a tree absorbs the rain. He felt that Vasudeva was the river itself, eternity itself, and God himself. Siddhartha's focus shifted from his own pain to the divine presence of his friend, realizing that Vasudeva had always been this way, though he hadn't fully recognized it before. When the story ended, Vasudeva led Siddhartha to the riverbank. "You have heard it laugh," he said softly, "but listen better. You will hear more." They sat together in a profound silence, and Siddhartha began to hear the many-voiced song of the river. He saw pictures in the moving water, his lonely father, himself in his longing, his son advancing along the burning path of life. All were lonely, all were obsessed by their goals, and all were suffering. The river's voice was sorrowful, singing with a deep, aching yearning. Siddhartha listened as his father's image, his own, and his son's merged into one another. He saw Kamala, Govinda, and thousands of others emerge and pass on, all becoming part of the river. He heard voices of pleasure and sorrow, good and evil, laughter and lamentation, all interwoven and interlocked in 1,000 ways. When he stopped trying to distinguish one voice from another and heard them all as a single unity, the great song of 1,000 voices merged into one solitary word: Om, perfection. In that hour, Siddhartha's wound healed. His self vanished into the great stream of unity. He ceased to fight against his destiny and found a serenity that shone from his face, the peace of one who is no longer in conflict with desires but is in harmony with the flow of existence. Vasudeva, seeing this transformation, touched Siddhartha's shoulder gently. "I have waited for this hour, my friend," he said radiantly. "Now it has arrived. I have been Vasudeva the ferryman for long enough. Farewell, river. Farewell, Siddhartha." Siddhartha bowed low as Vasudeva departed into the woods, merging into the unity of all things, leaving Siddhartha alone but finally complete as he watched his friend disappear into the golden light of the trees. Chapter 12. Govinda. Govinda, who had spent his entire life as a faithful monk following the rules of the illustrious Buddha, found himself resting in the pleasure grove formerly owned by Kamala. Even in his old age, after decades of meditation and wandering, a lingering restlessness remained in his heart. When he heard whispers of an extraordinary ferryman who lived a day's journey away, a man many believed to be a secret sage, Govinda felt a powerful pull to visit him. He arrived at the river, a humble pilgrim in yellow robes, and asked the elderly ferryman to take him across. As they reached the other side, Govinda, struck by the man's peaceful aura, asked if he too was a seeker of the right path. Siddhartha looked at his old friend with eyes full of light and a gentle, mocking smile. He told Govinda that he was seeking too hard. He explained a profound paradox. When someone seeks, he only sees the thing he is seeking. He is unable to absorb anything because he is obsessed with his goal. To seek is to have a destination, but to find is to be free, to be open, and to have no goal at all. Govinda was puzzled by these words until Siddhartha revealed his identity by reminding him of a morning many years ago when Govinda had guarded a sleeping man by this very river. Stunned, Govinda realized he was once again standing before his childhood friend. Siddhartha invited him to stay the night in his hut, and they spent the hours in quiet companionship, though Govinda's mind was still swirling with questions. The next morning, Govinda asked Siddhartha if he had a doctrine or a particular knowledge that helped him live. Siddhartha's response was a reflection of his long, winding journey. He told Govinda that wisdom is not communicable. He explained that while knowledge can be taught and shared, the wisdom a man finds within himself sounds like foolishness to everyone else. Siddhartha spoke of his distrust of words, explaining that words make the truth one-sided. He told Govinda that in every truth, the opposite is also equally true. For the world to be taught, it must be divided into samsara and nirvana, good and evil. But the world itself is never one-sided. It is a complete, unified whole, where the sinner is already a Buddha, and every child already carries death within them. To illustrate this, Siddhartha picked up a simple stone from the ground. He explained that in the past, he would have looked at the stone as Maya, a mere illusion that would eventually turn into soil or a plant. But now, he loved the stone precisely because it was a stone. To him, the stone was already everything. It was a god. It was a Buddha. It was the universe. He didn't respect it for what it would become, but for what it is in the eternal now. He told Govinda that the most important thing in the world is love. He explained that while thinkers may want to explain or despise the world, he found it only important to love the world, to regard it and all beings with admiration and respect. Govinda found these thoughts strange and contrary to the structured teachings he had followed, yet he could not ignore the immense holiness radiating from Siddhartha's very being. As Govinda prepared to leave, he felt a deep sense of inadequacy. He saw that Siddhartha had found what he himself was still searching for. He begged for one last word of guidance for his dark and difficult path. Siddhartha simply whispered, "Bend near to me. Kiss me on the forehead, Govinda." Though confused, Govinda obeyed, moved by a tremendous love for his friend. As his lips touched Siddhartha's forehead, the world of appearances vanished. Govinda no longer saw the face of his friend. Instead, he saw a terrifying and beautiful stream of thousands of faces. He saw the gasping mouth of a dying fish, the wrinkled face of a newborn, the cold stare of a murderer, and the passionate embrace of lovers. He saw animals, gods, and demons. He saw Krishna and Agni. He saw 1,000 births and 1,000 deaths, all happening simultaneously, all flowing into one another. It was a vast, endless symphony of suffering, joy, sin, and holiness. Above this chaotic, flowing stream of existence remained the mask-like smile of Siddhartha. It was a smile of simultaneousness, a smile of unity that hovered over the thousands of births and deaths. It was exactly the same calm, delicate, and wise smile that Govinda had once seen on the face of Gautama the Buddha. Govinda realized then that time did not exist, that every moment was eternity. He felt a divine arrow of love pierce his heart. Overwhelmed by a sense of humble veneration and peace, Govinda bowed low to the ground. In that single, miraculous moment of contact, he finally found the peace he had sought through all his years of wandering. Siddhartha had reached the goal. He was the river. He was the Buddha. He was the Om.